Welcome back to Life, Love, and Real Estate. I am, of course, Daniel Palmer. So glad you guys found us. Make sure you don't lose us. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe here on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. We're so excited to be talking to you today. And I'm, of course, joined by my much better pod half, LaCressa Morrow. LaCressa, how's it going?
It's going. Life is life, and I'm here. Yay, 17.
That is 17. That's a number. That's a number.
It's a number, right? We're still in it. Still doing it.
I tell people that I podcast and that I love this like medium, but like the stats say most podcasts don't make it past 10, which means we're killing it already.
Killing it.
But it's one of those things that, we go ahead.
Viewers is 32. I'm sorry. Our highest number of viewers, I think, is like 32 views on one of our episodes or something. So it's like, oh, that's cool. At least on from watching us, I don't know what it is on the other ones because
I try to stay away from that stuff just for me, like particularly like even with our jobs, like you can't, well, here's the results. Like, no, the point is the work. The point is the grind, because the results are never guaranteed.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
It's so funny.
No, the results are guaranteed, but just not necessarily show up in the way that you
fair enough
may want it to or think it shows its impact. Put it that way, right? Like if we saw like the ticker tape going up, then we'd be like, oh, we're being really impactful. At the same time, impact is there's levels to it, and so you don't know what the reach is really.
But all you can control is your input. You can't control what the outcome is. 100,000%. I think that's good advice for everything. I, of course, go back to sports, and you don't care. I'm not at a long revolved analogy, but if anyone listening likes Florida State, you were cursed from the moment your coach said we didn't get what we deserved, because you don't get what you deserve in this world. You get what you get. You have to kind of adjust off of that. And that is the pessimistic or realistic attitude I bring towards everything.
That's interesting. I think you do get what you deserve. I think it's all about what you desire.
Okay.
I do. I'm changing that philosophy, actually.
Okay.
I recently, the term like it's, it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like that's along those lines. And I'm going forward refusing to agree with that. There's No.
I love that. For me, it's a peace of mind when I see bad people succeed. I'm like, they didn't deserve it. They just got what they got. You got to keep moving. Like, you don't get what you deserve. Like, that's one of the things I've started saying about people, as opposed to being like overly negative when someone makes me mad. I just deep breath and I say, I hope they have the day they deserve.
That's so funny. There's this one person that I have that I tell you that I still, when I see this person, the level of distaste is high.
Gotcha.
And the highest that I've had in a very long time. And it got so bad to the point that I prayed so many blessings for her. That's how bad I didn't like her. I was like,
bless her heart.
About her, I'm like, just because that's how much I was like in my head, like,
to
like turn it around. But no, I think that there's so many sayings and things that we grew up with. And I think, and it's hard to watch people that you don't necessarily agree with their ethics and things and seeing them succeed. At the same time, I think that is a very minimal thing or minimal amount of people. They just shine a little bit brighter than others. But I think other people who actually like put in the work and put in the heart and put in the love, they absolutely deserve to get all of the things. So
this is good. I needed a new perspective. I need other ideas. This is good. I'm excited that you've brought a bit more light into this Friday for me, as you said, you're recording. But we're not just bringing light to me, you're bringing light to our listeners as well, because we're sitting here like firmly ensconced in Q4, which is crazy to me because we started this thing
so fast.
Remember the end of last year, like, let's do a podcast. And now we're sitting here having talked every 2 weeks for a while now about all sorts of things. And like, as I'm starting to get those kind of like moments where you get your bosses being like, what's your business plan look like for 2026? What are your goals you're going to be hitting? What is the word of the year? And I'm like, man, but the thing about it is like, and it's so stupid. And I'm going back to sports here for you. when you're a kid and you're playing sports, the coaches say a bunch of cliches, and you're like, "That stupid old man, I want to go hit someone," and like, all that's true. You did want to go hit someone, but the older you get, the more you're like, God, that coach speak was right. One of the things I've always heard that is you're going to hear it because you didn't play sports and you're like, that's stupid, because it is, but we're burning daylight. It's a stupid phrase, but it means you're wasting time. We're not making the most of what we have. And I, as a kid, I was like, as a kid who thought too much, you can't burn daylight. It's not a consumable. Like, it's a stupid, just like pedantic child thing. And now I'm like, oh, that's so real and so like poignant. And like, it's the thing, you get older and you're like, oh, those cliches were cliches for a reason. And so now I'm like looking at like preparing for 2026, and I look at it paralleled with the things I say to our clients, or say to people who want to say they want to buy a house. Have you done the preparation? Have you done the pre-work? Or are you going to be in here kind of floundering? Because you and I have both those kind of clients. We've had clients who said, I've got one right now who's closing at the beginning of November. She has been looking for a home for 5 years. She has been on her home journey for 5 years. But like, when the agent brought her to me, she said, look, she's been here doing this for a while. Just help her as much as you can. By the time she got to me, she's like, here are my last 3 years of tax returns. Here's all my W-2s. Here's the last 3 months of pay. She was readier than I would be if I wanted to buy something right now. I was like, okay, all right, hold on. And I went back to the agent. I was like, I'm not sure what your experience has been, but my experience is this person's super ready. And so maybe it took her 5 years to get ramped up, but by the time she was like, let's go really look at places, she knew exactly what she was looking for. She got under contract quickly. We're through all our contingencies swimmingly, and we're hanging out until closing because she was super ready. Conversely, we've had the people who say, I think I'll buy a house today. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to need all these documents. I'm sure I can find them. Well, will you? I'll get to it. And it's the kind of pulling teeth. We've had both those experiences, but I tell you what, LaCressa, if I could have more clients be more prepared, I'd do that 100 times out of 100.
Yeah. It makes the job much easier for sure. I find that the older I get, managing adults can be really hard, especially when they say that they want to do things. And then you're like, so why aren't you doing them? Why are you doing them? So, yeah, I love that for you. And I love that story that you got this woman at the tail end when she's prepared.
Man.
Whatever the hell had her the first 1, 2, 3, and 4 years. Or not happy. They're just like,
the agent is never as excited as I am for. I'm like, aren't you excited? She's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, well, I haven't had the journey. I haven't walked those miles. So for me, this is all fantastic.
By the time you break down her hourly rate.
No, I didn't ask her to do that. I would never. No, not at this point. But at a certain point, when someone's in your,
I'm in a real petty mode lately.
You're fine. No, but when someone's in your CRM, like at a certain point, they become a drip campaign, and you're not really actively like chasing them. Yeah. But when she came back, that was just kind of the warning I got, and I was excited.
I love that. No, I love that it worked out, and I think that sometimes it does take some people to ramp up. In all seriousness, it doesn't take 5 years to buy a home.
No, it doesn't take 5 years to buy a home.
If you're not quite ready, and it's just like a very dim light in your head, then it may take you 5 years to be ready to buy a home, right? Like, your time is your time. Exactly. And at the end of the day, she eventually got to the finish line. And good for her agent for sticking with her however long it took for her to get there, and for you to be able to get the easy part at the end. So, man,
I love a layup.
You're like, hell yeah, this is great. The agent's like,
But I wanted to set up the next story because I want to tell that story because it's obviously very funny. I had a closing yesterday. This is the time of year where
talk about too. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the time of year where like you kind of like, as you're doing the business planning and like planning out your goals and things you want to do. And if you're listening at home, you're like, I don't really do that. Just think about what you want your next 12 months to look like. Just sit down and say, what do I want to look like? And one of the exercises you do when you're doing this is you're going to have to find your why you're doing things. Yeah. One of the things that you do in your classes and that I love participating in is you ask them, why are you in this industry? And every time I ask myself that question, the answer comes down to, I want to help people. I want to be of service in some way, in the way I know best.
Yeah.
LaCressa, yesterday I had a closing that literally, I'm about to talk to you about it, but it brings tears to my eyes thinking about it.
Oh, I love this.
This family, older husband and wife, came to me and said, we've been turned down by 2 other lenders. They said we couldn't get this done. I said, what are you trying to do? They bought this home in 1993.
Okay.
They had 2 children in the home. They raised them. They got them through college. They're out in their careers now. One of them's retired. One of them is she does after school programming at her church.
Oh, that's sweet.
And in 2017, the reason I want to do this podcast, the reason we do this podcast is because we want you guys to hear from people who do this professionally every day.
Yeah.
My clients got caught up with some scammers who made promises they couldn't deliver on and lost their home.
Oh, that's awful.
In foreclosure. An investor bought it and rented it back to them so they didn't have to move out. This is in 2017. They came to me in May and said, we want to buy our home back. 2 lenders have told us we can't do it. So I worked with them. I gave them, someone said to me, oh, I'm so glad you did this for them. I did this with them because if they don't do the things I asked them to do, this doesn't happen.
Yeah. I
made certain requests about things they had to change. They made the changes. So from May until early October, they're making the fixes. They go under contract. We work out an agreement with the investor. They go under contract early October. They close yesterday.
Oh.
And the wife yesterday said, grabbed my hand and said, I did not think this day was going to come.
Oh.
And it was real crystallizing, like Q4 moment. Like, well, if you didn't have a fire lit, that should light it because yeah, we love helping everyone. I love helping everyone. If you're an investor, if this is your 7th home, I'm here for you at your disposal in any way possible. But for someone to put their faith in me after they've been told no, not just by other lenders, but by the world. Yeah. There's a level of self-recrimination. She said all this stuff with shame. And I'm like, ma'am, this is part of that journey. This is life. Life happened. And guess what? You got your home back in your name. Oh. It legitimately changed. It was the best closing I've had all year because it was something that they, a year ago, did not think was possible. They did not think they could ever own any home, let alone that home again.
I love that. I love that for them. I love that for you. It's that's great. It's perfect timing. For the fall. I love the fall.
The wife says that she puts up Christmas decorations every year around September. Aww. She hadn't put up one because she wasn't sure this was going to happen. I said, what are you doing this week? She said, I'm putting up 3 trees and every light I own. And I was like, that's it. That's the job. That's why we do this thing. That's why we grab a good hour every 2 weeks and talk about this in front of people, because I want them to know there is no. It's how do we get to yes? My credit's no good. Cool. Let's find out where it is and find out where we can work on it. I don't make enough money. Cool. Let's find out the next steps to increasing your income or decreasing your debts. I haven't saved any money. Let's build a plan together. No is never no. It's how do we get to yes?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it takes a certain level of vulnerability, right? To have these conversations 100%. With yourself first, your partner. We know, or statistically, they say a lot of couples don't talk about finances, right? And so that's what gets them into certain situations. And also it's just hard to admit that you haven't managed things as well as you wanted them to, or life got you caught up in some way, or whatever the situation is. I don't know. There are no rules out there. We just have to figure it out, and we just have to be a little proactive. But in order to be proactive, we also just need to know what's going on. Like you need to build that team that you feel comfortable with sharing how you live and how you want to live and how you have been living that got you to where you are now to get you to the next place. It's a lot of sharing. It really is. Like, that's why I wanted to do like life, love and real estate, because it's all relationships. It really is. And so for you to take that time, especially after the no's, and just be like, we just need to put a good plan in action. That's really great. Because a lot of times in our industry, we know how transactional it is, and so it's like, oh, you can't do it now. Yeah, you might want to work with someone else, right? It's a very now business. I mean, obviously, because compensation has to do with commissions, and we don't get
100%.
95, and there's all kinds of reasons for that. At the same time, people like them can fall through the cracks. I like to say fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Because there is a plan in place. They just need someone to take time with them to create a plan and a good team to come together to help them execute it. So
100%.
good for you. Fantastic.
Man,
I love the fall.
It's
Also,
the best.
It just ended. I think Libra season just ended. And, as a Libra, and everything's about balancing scales and preparing for the next year and contemplating. So all those things you were talking about earlier, like, what's your word for the next year? That's been a long time for the last
we don't do, for the record, we don't do any kind of pre-planning for this podcast. LaCressa's like, what time we're recording? I'm like, I'll think of some things to yell at her about, and then we go out and rock. But like,
I know, right? That's so funny. But I'm just like, what are we going to be talking about today? And then we end up having this conversation.
But it's so funny because you talk about balance and synergy, and this is that time of year. My wife calls it. We're entering the let's circle back after the holidays time of the calendar, and it's so easy. Like you said, this is the time of year where the balance is important. Where yes, you're going to be slowing down some because the world's slowing down some, spending time with friends and family and et cetera. But it's also important to set yourself up for success for 26. So
let go of the things that you need to let go to make space for the things that you need to do, right? Like the fall, like literally fall, right? shedding,
but
shed something.
What comes with that shedding is going to come with emotion. You got to recognize that, like, this is so stupid. My son, this is his first Halloween where it's like fully, like, not fully, he's a baby, he's 2.
Yeah.
But I'll be carrying him after daycare and we go check the mail together and the sun's going down. He goes, spooky daddy. And I'm like, that's adorable. And then we come inside and we'll watch like a Baby Shark the Halloween, and they have all the different flavors. If China's invading the country, it's through Baby Shark.
I didn't know there was a Baby Shark Halloween. Okay.
Oh, they got a jam. The Mermaid Halloween Wedding is a banger, an absolute banger. We listened to it out here after Matt went to bed 2 nights ago. Like, I legitimately love that song. But he'll watch it and be like, spooky daddy. And I go, is it too spooky? He says, no. I said, you okay? Yeah. And so, like, they do things like take books off the shelves for kids. So they don't want kids to feel sad about things. And what we're talking about here is it's important to recognize those emotions so that you can regulate yourself around them. If you feel shame about a thing, that's not a sign for you to run from it.
No.
It's not. If a thing feels hard, it's not a sign to run from it. If you say, hey, LaCressa's words about shedding what does not serve me makes a lot of sense, but man, I'm terrified to try to not rent this place. That's what we're talking about. That's why it's called life, love, and real estate. She touched on it earlier. It's about the relationships, not just with each other, but relationship with yourself. Can you be honest about what you want and what you need, and the work it's going to be willing to take to get there? Because if you're willing to do the work, there are professionals there to help. Go ahead.
Self-accountability. Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
This is a theme too. Like, if you want a home, you have to do the work to get a home, right? Like, it doesn't just magically appear unless you think that you are going to inherit something or you're going to hit the lottery, but you still got to do the work of going to buy the ticket at the store in order to get yourself in a position to be able to win the lottery. So you still got to do some kind of work in order to get there, right? And so there has to be a certain level of accountability. I'm not even talking about the shame of whatever you did and what you've been avoiding. You have to take a certain level of accountability in order to get what you want, period. We can sit there and come up with a strategy all day long. I can tell you that I'm available anytime for you to call me, for you to text me, for you to email me. You can do the same thing. And we do that. But until you pick up the phone, until you send an email or text message or upload your documents or do your taxes or, things like that, then you can't get a home. So dreams need action in order for them to become a reality. And so there has to be a certain level of accountability that you have to yourself about what you want to do in life and what you say you love. So there's that.
That's the second step of what we're talking about, like building a plan and then recognizing hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan. How are you going to get this house? I'm going to cross my fingers real hard. And so, like, This is so stupid.
I'm like, call me when you're ready. That's
I
what I'm like.
I was walking. So Eats just closed down Ponce. Very sad day. Eats.
I know. Man, it's like we are that age now where things are closing, like and when they're starting to do the stupid anniversaries about songs that were like bangers when we were like, and they're like, it's its 25th anniversary. And I'm like, screw you. Like
that doesn't seem true. I refuse that information. No, thank you.
I'm really bummed about Eats. That was one of the most affordable 20s meals that I could eat at that time. I've spent so much time there in my 20s. Crazy.
No, you're fine. I was walking there before the closing, before the line went on the block. I'm not that dedicated. I didn't do the last week, but I did there before that. I was walking there, and two young ladies, there's a little hotel near between our office and where Eats is, and two young ladies were loading things up, and they were having trouble getting things into the car. And so I'm a gentleman. I stopped and helped them.
You are a gentleman.
And the young lady said, "Thank the heavens you walked by." And I said, "Don't thank heavens, thank lunch. I'm hungry. Like, I want my credit. This wasn't, you were going to hope it got in there, but it took the action of someone actually putting it in there for you." And it's just one of those things where it's like, let's make sure. And people say, "Oh, I just hoped." And no, hope is part of it. Hope is what got you off the couch, but you put the motion in your feet to go down and make these things happen, to scan the documents, to, like Chris said, answer the phone call, to scan. The reason I'm so excited, again, helping people is fantastic. Helping them was fantastic. The thing that was so uplifting about that whole transaction was I told someone what to do and they listened and they followed through. And they said,
it worked out. Isn't it wild that it worked out when they followed the plan? Crazy how that is. And it's like, follow the plan. It's a plan.
But and I get it. The world is loud. The world is noisy. But you got to know that when you talk to professionals like myself or LaCressa, we don't have these ulterior motives. If you don't, in the words of Outcast, if you don't move your feet, then we don't eat. So we both neck to neck. If we give you advice and you don't follow it, we don't get paid for that advice. We get paid at closing tables. I'm never going to tell you something to keep you away from a closing table. It's bad for my pockets. I'm allergic to that kind of decision.
Also, we want you to succeed. We're trying to help you get what you say that you want. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm always like, here, I would love to have more clients and all of that stuff. And also, this is what you said you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to help you get there.
And that's the last reason I go to every closing I can, because it is a process. And it takes work.
And also, just side note, party people, not every lender goes to a closing. I was at a closing the other day. I'm going to tell you about my closing real quick. Circle back.
Do it.
So my closing was super exciting because I also coach agents, and you have helped me with coaching agents and things when we used to get together on Saturdays. And so one of my little babies is a youngin'. I think he's like 21, just had his first closing in less than a year of being in the industry, while in school, while working as a valet. And the two of us did our deal together for an affordable home over in an emerging neighborhood in city of Atlanta, where his client was able to get $43,000 in down payment assistance and only put $5,100 into the deal and bought a 3-bedroom new construction townhome. And he helped her do it. And we got to work together. And I was over there literally crying closing people, because he put in the work and he put himself out there over and over and over again. And when he had any questions, he humbled himself enough to call me, text me, email me, show up. He was valeting and showing up for coaching at the same time. He wasn't able to be on screen, but he was listening while he's parking cars. If you want something, you will do the work to get it. And so the hoping and the wishing and the praying is great. You have it in your heart. Now do the work to get it done. Show up, ask questions. If you're scared, you can still walk forward and be scared. You can still be scared at that closing table, signing on the dotted line for your home, now paying your mortgage instead of someone else's mortgage because you were scared paying rent. Now be scared paying your own mortgage. How about that? if you're going to do it scared, then do it scared for your benefit, not for someone else's. Don't let that stop
100%.
you. We do scared stuff all the time. All the time we're doing scary stuff. I've seen how you people drive. Y'all drive scary. Y'all be risking y'all lives all the time.
Atlanta.
Just y'all don't care about your cars. You don't care about your lives. You don't care
about
anything.
You know what I think twice a day?
What?
Twice a day without fail, no matter where I go in the city. That's how your car ended up like that. Like that's just
Absolutely. I'm like, that's why your shit's your rim. Look at the side of your car, and this is
that's someone who got what they deserved.
Absolutely. So it's just so beautiful to go back to what we do for a living. It's so beautiful to see people work really hard to get what they want and reap the benefits of that. And I love seeing these light bulb moments in our buyers. I love working with agents who, on the other side of the table, who we worked together to problem solve for their client. Especially when I'm on the listing side and they have buyers and they might be newer agents or just not experienced with new construction and how it works and just many things. And so I love what we do because it is literally about relationships and connections and support and problem solving. I love that. Problem solving and support. Hell yeah. Those are my things, you know.
And that's so cool. Because what you just said took me to another place. Your team's bigger than your team.
Yeah.
When I'm on your team, I've got LaCressa. When she's on your team, she's got me. She and I we're working together. We don't work on every deal together. So I have a deal, and I called her, 2 days ago?
You did.
For advice on
really sweet, by the way. Can I just say that real quick before you say that? I was like, oh my God, he called me for like real estate advice. Like I thought that was really cool. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing something right. So it was like, it made me feel good. So thank you.
I'm gonna hand it back to you because a couple of months ago, you called me for lender advice.
And
you paid me the same compliment, just for the record.
Yeah.
But no, I had an issue with a client situation. I was like, how do I navigate this? I was like, let me just ask LaCressa because she knows what she's talking about. We talked about it for 10 minutes. She reaffirmed the thing I was already thinking. She was like, hey, you're right. This is how you should handle it. Here's the next steps if this goes a certain direction. And bingo, bango, it's all taken care of 2 days later. It was just no turgid. So like, I'm reminding everyone that when you do select these people who are in your network or in your team, it's also important to know that they've got people behind them. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at it. I have resources that make me better. I have the ability and the confidence to say, if I don't have an answer for you, give me 5 minutes. I'll call you right back. And LaCressa, I've said that to you before.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I've gone and gotten the answer, made sure I was 100% and called you right back. Because I'd rather take a second and tell you the truth than be immediate and lie to you.
Yeah. Well, also, and it works to your advantage when you're honest.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy how that is, but it works to your advantage. And in a sense of in a situation with us, right? With one of the classes that we did, and one of my former clients became one of your clients. And because of the fact that you did not say things that you didn't know, and you got back to her about the questions that she had. And she really appreciated the fact that you were honest enough to say, I don't know, but let me and I don't know. And there's no buts. I don't know. And let me get back to you. Right. And so that was really great for her. And it was really like, oh, okay, I'll rock with you. So.
And I think that's like more importantly, and I know we give a lot of advice on here and we talk about a litany of things. What I hope people have taken away 17 episodes, one episode, is that the strength of anyone, any team is the chemistry within it, is the ability to say, we can work together to get things done. We can do hard things together if we don't try to do them alone. Oh. And we're entering a season right now where people are going to feel a little bit more alone. And as just an Atlanta native and as someone who unfortunately is stricken with the affliction of giving a damn about his fellow man, I want to remind everyone out there that there's a lot of food insecurity going into the holidays. National federal benefits are ending. There is a community food bank in your neighborhood. I guarantee it. You may not know about it. If you're blessed enough not to know about it, congratulations. But go ask some questions. Find out places where people are able to donate in your area to give back. I know this is a season where everyone gets kind of, like we said, you're in circle back and after the new year. But as you slow down and as you prepare for the new year and as you plan out your 2026, don't do so with blinders on. Do so with eyes open to the worlds around you. And of course, we're not all in a position to say we can give monetarily, but we've all got some extra time. We've all got some extra effort. You can bag a thing or two. You can help out. You can drive someone to or fro. Be
extra
the
blanket,
little bit of
a lot of different things, right? Like just know that there's everything is in need. Not to cut you off, but I just want to say that real quick. Everything is in need. It's not just food. It is people are going to need help. The weather's about to change. So there are people who are unhoused all over the place, whether you see them on the street or see them in their car. So blankets are needed, coats that you can't fit anymore or have a slight burn or tear or rip. They don't care. People need things all the way around. So any way that you can show up and help.
We're kicking off a tradition my mother did with us when we were kids. We're starting with Matthew this Christmas. We're going to take a bag of toys and clothes and take them down to Goodwill, because that was it was always like our pre-Christmas purge of like, you don't play with these things, you rugrats. Give them someone who will. And like that was, it's a joke, but it also creates a good, it's a good habit forming thing to do. And so Matthew's too, but we're going to start that this year with him. And yeah, it's just, it's, if you haven't been active in this, there's no time better to start than now. The same thing about real estate. The best time to buy was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. The best time to start giving was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. But yeah,
I know.
I think
towards the end of the year, sellers are making concessions. I know many buyers who have found homes between Halloween and the new year. Also, living in the lovely state of Georgia and specifically in where we are in Metro Atlanta, purchasing before the end of the year will allow you to be able to apply for your homestead exemption for next year, because you have to have possession as of January 1st. So just a little bit of last real estate nuggets. So if you are thinking about buying a home, then now is a great time, because most people are trying to get rid of their inventory before the end of the year. If you want to be in your home by Thanksgiving, you need to be in the market right now. You need to be getting pre-approved right now. So you have that 21 to 40-day window-ish. Actually, no, it's less than that. You have about 30 days. You can get in a home in the next 30 days, but you definitely can get in a home in the next 60 days. So just, make it happen. Reach out.
Can I ask something for everyone who doesn't know these things? What's homestead exemption?
So when you when you purchase your home and it is your primary residence, you pay property taxes, right? You pay city and county taxes, or you pay county taxes, depending on where you are. By it being your primary residence, your home, one of the advantages of being a homeowner is the fact that you can apply for homestead exemption, which will decrease your property taxes by approximately about 20-25% in order to award you for contributing to your city's tax base by being a homeowner. It only applies to your primary resident. If you have homestead exemption on your current home and you decide to move to your next home, you will be moving it over to the next home. You can't have it on two homes at once. It's just for your primary residence. Did that make sense? Was that plain enough?
That's a real estate answer. That was a fantastic answer. Mine is always like, it's a thing you apply for to make your taxes go down. I'm like, you want to pay less taxes? Fire him. Sadly, there's
a couple things you'll have to do, right? You have to own the house as of January 1st. You're going to have to update your driver's license with your current address. And then you're going to go to your tax assessors for your county. Generally, you're going to go through your county. And you can go ahead and apply as soon as January 1st. It's just in our area, it's going to kick in after April 1st. So you have up until April 1st to apply for it, and then it will apply to your current tax bill. If you do decide to get into the home buying process, and unfortunately you cannot purchase as of January 1st, and you purchase on January 2nd, or 3rd or 5th or whatever, you're going to have to wait a year in order for that to be able to be applied to your new home.
Look at that. heart, knowledge, stories, the whole 9 yards. Before we get out of here, LaCressa, this is coming out the week of Halloween.
Yay!
Do you have any Halloween traditions? Are you a Halloween person? Are you as Matthew would say, spooky? Are you a spooky person?
I love scary movies. So I grew up watching Halloween and Friday the 13th and Sleepaway Camp and all of those wonderful things and Nightmare on Elm Street. So I love that kind of stuff. Most of the people that I'm around do not like scary movies, so I probably won't be doing that. But I am having a pumpkin carving party. My new lady friend wants to throw a pumpkin carving party, and she's festive, and so we're doing festive things. So there's that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Susan's like you. She'll admit this. Her father maybe showed her horror movies a little bit too early, but she is full-on horror movie person. She was watching horror movies while she was pregnant. I was like, I'm not. I'm like the rest of the people you know. I'm like, I don't need to be scared for pretend. I'm scared enough. I get nervous enough just being around. Like, I don't like heights. Y'all over here like, I'm going to invent thrills. No, thank you, sir. I'm good. I've got enough.
So funny that you say that. A college friend of mine, I asked her to go watch a scary movie with me. This is a long time ago. And she goes, I don't scare myself on purpose. And I was like, oh my God, I totally scare myself on purpose. How weird is that? I never thought about it from that perspective. But yes, I've been watching them since I was probably like 8 or 9. Been watching scary movies. That's what we did. We sat around as a family and we watched movies that my dad went to go rent. And some of them were action and some of them were thriller and some of them were horror. And I still love horror to this day. Love a good psychological thriller as well. Your face is hilarious.
There's a joke in there about psychological thrillers in my 20s, but I'm going to leave it laying where it is. LaCressa, tell everyone where they can find you if they want to avail themselves of your services in finding homes here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll make it not scary. Black people scary, by the way, in a reference of Storm Scary.
The half run, what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I work with Keller Williams, KW in town. LAC sells ATL on Instagram. If you just Google my name, there's not very many LaCressas in the world, and especially only one LaCressa Morrow. So just, type my name in and you will find my contact information. So I'm here to help. I'm here to give some advice. I'm here to, help you strategize about what you want and what you need, whether it's to buy a home, to sell a home, to invest in some properties, to, just let me know. Call me.
I've got your next business card. It's just your name, your logo, and on the back it says Google me. Like that's some real shit right there. I'm just saying, like, we can talk about this. I want to design cut.
Yeah.
I want a design cut. All right. Well, thanks you guys for listening and watching. Daniel Palmer, DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. Brought to you by Shelter Home Mortgages. And we'll be back in 2 weeks as we head into the end of the year. My goodness, time flies when you're having fun and making podcasts. That was your show. There is no outro. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.